The rain-slicked pavement of Seattle's Pike Place Market gleamed under the first light of dawn. But my heart shattered like the cheap coffee mug I dropped when Cleo whispered, "Doris, I've been lying to you, to us." Her voice cracked. A raw edge slicing through the salty air mingled with the scent of fresh seafood and blooming tulips from the nearby stalls. In that instant, the world tilted. The woman I'd loved for 5 years, my anchor in this chaotic city, was unraveling a truth that could drown us both. I froze. The steam from my spilled Americano rising like ghosts between us. Cleo's hazel eyes, usually sparkling with that graphic designer's creativity, now pooled with tears. She was 35. Same as me. But in that moment, she looked so damn fragile, like the fragile sketches she drew late at night in our cramped apartment overlooking Puget Sound. "What do you mean?" I managed, my throat tight, the distant hum of early morning vendors fading into a dull roar in my ears. She sighed, a long, shuddering breath that carried the weight of secrets. "I'm not who you think. I was married before. To a man. And I never told you because I was scared it'd change everything." Her words hung there, heavy as the fog rolling in from the bay. Married? My mind reeled. I'd built my life around her, quitting that dead-end job in Portland to teach high school English here. Just to be closer. We'd shared lazy Sundays binge-watching Netflix thrillers. Her head on my shoulder, the popcorn butter lingering on our fingers. How could this be hidden? I stepped back, the cool metal of a market bench pressing against my legs. "Cleo, why now? After all this time?" My voice rose, echoing off the brick walls, drawing a curious glance from a fishmonger unpacking his crates. The clatter of ice and scales grounded me, a stark reminder of the real world intruding on our private hell. She reached for my hand, her fingers trembling. "Because I'm pregnant, Doris. From before we met." "No. Wait, that's not right." She paused, inhaling sharply, the scent of her lavender shampoo mixing with the market's briny tang. "It was artificial insemination. I did it alone. Years ago. Before I accepted who I am. And now, the clinic called, there's a complication. I need to face it. But I can't without you knowing the truth." "Pregnant?" The word exploded in my chest like a firecracker. I pictured her swollen belly. A life we hadn't planned. Twisting our quiet lesbian existence into something unpredictable. We'd talked about kids someday, adoption. Maybe, but this? This was a ghost from her straight-passing past. Haunting us. I felt betrayed. A sharp sting in my gut. Like the time I caught my ex cheating back in college. But Cleo wasn't cheating, she was hiding from herself. "God. Doris. Say something," she pleaded, her voice a whisper amid the growing bustle. Tourists snapped photos of the iconic public market sign, oblivious to our drama unfolding like a scene from one of those indie films we loved. I turned away, staring at the ferry slicing through the sound, their horns low and mournful. "I need air," I muttered, walking briskly toward the waterfront. The early sun warmed my face, but inside, a storm brewed. How could I love someone who'd kept this buried? Yet, as I leaned against the railing, the salty breeze whipping my short hair, memories flooded, our first kiss under the Space Needle. Fireworks bursting overhead, the way she'd trace my tattoos with gentle fingers after a long day grading papers, her laugh, bright and unfiltered, cutting through my cynicism. Cleo caught up, out of breath. "Please, don't leave me like this." Her hand on my arm sent a familiar spark. But I pulled away gently. "Why hide it? We're supposed to be real with each other." My words came out softer than I intended, laced with hurt. She nodded, tears streaking her cheeks. I was ashamed. Growing up in conservative Texas, I pretended to be straight for so long. Married young. Divorced quick when I couldn't fake it anymore. Then I met you. And it felt like a fresh start. But this baby. It's a piece of me I can't erase. Baby. The word softened the edges of my anger. I imagined a tiny life, innocent in all this mess. "And now?" I asked, turning to face her fully. The market was alive now, vendors shouting deals. The sizzle of street food carts. The chatter of locals grabbing their morning joe. "Now. I want us to face it together. But if you can't." Her voice trailed off. A painful pause. We stood there, the world spinning around us. I thought of my own fears, the step I'd never taken. Coming out to my family back in Oregon. They'd disowned me. And I'd built walls ever since. Cleo had cracked those walls. But this truth tested them. Cleo, I said finally. My heart pounding like a drum in a thriller climax. I'm scared too. But running? That's the step I never took before, and it cost me everything. I pulled her close. Her warmth seeping through my jacket. The faint thump of her heart against mine syncing our rhythms. She sobbed into my shoulder. The sound muffled but raw. What if it's too much? It's not, I whispered. Inhaling her scent mixed with the ocean air. We'll figure it out. Doctor visits. Nursery plans, hell. Even telling my nosy students YMS. Doris is glowing. A small laugh escaped her, breaking the tension like sunlight piercing clouds. We walked back arm in arm. The market's energy mirroring our tentative hope. Over the next months, we navigated it all, ultrasounds and sterile Seattle clinics, where the whoosh of the heartbeat echoed our growing excitement, late-night talks on our balcony. Stars twinkling over the city, dissecting our fears like plot twists in a binge-worthy series. Cleo's belly grew. And so did my courage. I called my parents. Voice steady, Mom. Dad. I'm happy. With Cleo. And we're having a kid. Silence. Then tentative questions, progress. Not perfection. When our daughter arrived on a crisp autumn morning, crying fiercely into the world, Cleo squeezed my hand. We did it, she breathed. Exhausted but radiant. Holding that tiny bundle. Her eyes a mix of ours. I knew the truth had moved us forward. The step I'd avoided, facing vulnerability, had finally taken root. Blooming into a family unbreakable.